Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, Irene. I have been wrestling like crazy with this computer, like literally just before I went live, started getting the old BSOD, the blue screen of death happening on me. Apparently my drivers within Cakewalk weren't playing well with OBS again. So I'm going to have to research that. So if this stream goes down inadvertently, just know that I will try to hop back on here and make sure that if nothing else, we can hop back on and have a good time. Nonetheless, we are on episode number 25 of these live streams. Absolutely loving these things. Thank you guys so much already for showing up, populating the chat, letting me know that you're here. Let me know, obviously, first off, that you can actually hear me. Okay. Stream bots is running. All right. So, by the way, I've got this stream bot set up just in case anyone lets any crazy links or explicatives come through. Every once in a while, though, it does get kind of crazy. Like, for instance, every time someone mentions the word analog, it thinks that's a bad word and tries to tell them not to start cussing on this stream. So I've tried to fix that. We'll see if that worked as well. But anywho, this is episode number 25. Thank you guys for letting me know that you can hear me. 5 by 5. Nice. Okay. By the way, Silvermane, Wesley John, and Kendall Coley. This is the first time I believe I've seen you guys on the stream. Thank you guys so much for stopping in. We try to do this we do this every single Saturday for Sound Advice Saturday, where I hop on, give tips and tricks on how to improve your mixes, get your music sounding better. And I also just take questions and answers, that kind of thing. And please acknowledge. I am acknowledging, sir. Okay, so thank you guys anyway for hopping on. And so this edition is going to be a little bit different. Obviously, this isn't Saturday. The other difference in this is that we're actually wrapping up what we just had, a quarantined song challenge. So a lot of fun. We had 11 entries. We had 12 total, but one of them we had to take off because obviously the situation that took place there is it was already mixed, mastered, and released by Samuel Canuck. And he graciously said, okay, you're right. I'll take it out of there. I just wanted people to hear it. So we heard it, Sam. Sounded great. Which, by the way, he's doing a lot of cool things over on his channel right now. He's just got his YouTube channel started. So if you guys go and check out that, it's Sam's Recording Academy. I'll try to include a link so you guys can go and check out his channel. And if you'd be so kind as to go ahead and sub to him, I guarantee you're also going to learn a ton from Sam. He's just a super nice guy, and he's willing to share his knowledge as well. Had him here on the channel not too long ago for an interview. Went really well. And ever since then, we've been keeping in touch and going back and forth. And just, like I said, he's just super nice guy. So at any rate, we are talking about the winner announcement today. So we had a poll where we had everybody went and listened to the songs, maybe if they hadn't heard them before. And then we actually went through the songs live here on the channel. We all listened to them together. I sort of gave like some quick mix critiques on the first go around as we all listened together. And then after that, we all just, awesome. Thank you, Pirate Beats. Appreciate that. And then after that, we all just kind of mulled over the songs, listened to the songs, gave our comments on the songs. And then we had a poll here in the last few days of everyone. That way they could vote on those songs. And we do have a winner. So I'm pretty excited to announce the winner. But before we get into that, if this is your first time here, as I can see that some of you are, I just want to let you know that this channel exists to simplify the complexities of the home studio and to help you make professional sounding music in a less than professional space. Now, the motto around here is we can dream alone, we can create alone, however, we can achieve so much more together. So that's our motto. And that's where we're basing all of this on, we are trying to build a community here of like-minded individuals that love music, that want to help one another to grow. And so if this is your first time here, and that sounds like something that you'd like to be a part of, go ahead and hit that sub button. This would be a great time to do that. And speaking of subs, we got some cool stuff going on here because we have to do this every single show. I love to do this part, by the way. And this is it. The chart toppers. That's right. Coming in at number 1 on the HSS chart, we have James Sheets, who has made generous donations through Super Chats for $10 a piece, coming in at a total of $20. He's also a $10 a month Patreon member. Very, very nice. So he's got some personal Skype calls. I'm going to try to showcase on the show today what we've already done to get his mix actually up to speed. And maybe you guys can actually be able to see firsthand what those Skype calls can do. And also I'm going to show you what the mix critique can do. So Zave Ryan's coming in at second still at $11 worth of donations. He's also a $1 a month Patreon member. VST404 hopped on the live stream last time, gave a $5 super chat, and then he actually contacted me offline and said, really like what you're doing. I like your vibe, so I'm going to go ahead and become a Patreon member. I was like, dude, that is so cool. So thank you so much, VST404. Marc Burgstahler, the guitar man, as you have already heard if you were a part of this competition, man, this guy can tear it up. He's also a $10 super chatter. And then Marcity101 also donated $5 through the super chat. Thank you all so very much. You guys rock. This show is alive because of people just like you. So let's hop on over to the live chat real quick and let's see where we're at here. Let's see. Feel free to go score Weekend Warrior online by me, Silvermane Wesley John. Interesting story if you want to hear it. Okay. Silvermane Wesley John, is that a song or is it a movie? Or I'm assuming it's a song. You should have submitted that, man. If that was a song, you should have submitted that. There will be more song challenges, which, by the way, I asked the community here what they thought about the song challenge, if they thought it was a good idea, if they'd like to do more. And the overwhelming sort of comeback from the community was, yes, we want to see more of this kind of thing. So there will be more song challenges in the future then. That's definitely going to be a given. At first I was kind of like, I don't know if anybody's even going to want to do this, because, you know, when you put yourself out there and oh, okay, I'm the guy who told you on YouTube that I have such a horrible upload. Me. The song is Weekend Warrior. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely go and check that out, man. At any rate, I put it out there and I asked sort of in a poll on the community tab, which if you have not checked out the community tab, that's where a lot of stuff happens on here too. We talk about things, we shoot ideas back and forth on that community tab. But I shot it out there, said, hey guys, would you want to do another song challenge in the future? And the overwhelming odds were, yes, we want to do that. So this is not the last song challenge. I will say I have definitely learned a lot from this. Man, there was so much work on the back end of this. I don't even want to go into it. I don't want you to think that I'm complaining, because I'm not. I learned a lot. And so by learning, that's super cool. I love learning. But however, on the back end of it, man, I had to brush up on my coding skills to get all that on the website. Had to find a good poll that would actually be embeddable, that was free. I didn't want to have to pay for a service if I was only going to do it once, but going forward, I might pay for a service if I think it's going to be worth it. We're going to have more of these. And then there was just so much going back and forth with the songs and the song titles. And anyway, it was a lot of work, but I think it was worth it. I think everybody got a lot of value out of it. I know I definitely was blown away with the quality of mixes. And before we even get into releasing who the winner was, I want to tell you guys, from the bottom of my heart, and I mean this with everything within me, you guys are awesome. And I know I say that, and I don't want to just sound like I'm just saying that, but you guys are awesome in the sense that, not just because I think you're awesome, but you're awesome in the sense that you went out on a limb and you put that out there and you released a part of you. As a singer-songwriter myself and one who does, all of that aspect, the same thing that you guys are doing, I know that it's really hard sometimes to put yourself out there like that, especially when the song is in your mind not good enough to be out there. Now, in all honesty, every song I've ever released, even though I've had a lot of great people come and they say, oh man, that sounds great, in my mind, I think it's not good enough. But that's because we're all very protective of our own work. We're perfectionists by nature for the most part. That's why most of us like to have a hands on our work personally instead of sending it off to someone else. And so I'm really proud of you guys. I don't want to sound like that, old grandpa in the corner that's chewing on the skull and telling you guys, I'm proud of you boys, but I am. I'm really proud of you guys. It took a lot for you guys to put that out there and to put yourself out there. It's almost like bearing your soul for someone to actually see, like taking off the cover and saying like, this is what I can do. But the thing about it is when you do that in a community like we have here, and you start to see that good feedback, everyone was being so kind. I mean, we had a couple comments of individuals that, one comment comes to mind right now of an individual who said this goes against, I forget how he said it. It don't even matter. It was kind of off color, kind of rude. But that's okay. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. It wasn't downgrading or didn't contain cuss words or anything like that. So, but at the same thing, everybody that went through here, everybody was so supportive of one another, and you guys got a lot of great feedback from one another. And you were able to see like, hey, there's more people that are in the same boat as I am. We're all doing the same thing. This is cool. And that's really what this is about. We got to build this community. We got to help one another. As Pirate Beach just said, a lot of talent in every submission. Great artists are on this channel. That's so true. So true. And along those same lines, not only am I proud of you that you released that you went out a step farther, but I'm proud of you that you're trying to learn more. There are so many who they get to that point where, yeah, they might be making some really good mixes. They might be making some really good songs. Maybe they're a great producer. But if you ever get to that point, and I've seen it happen in some, if you ever get to that point where you're like, I've got it, I've arrived, I'm on top, nobody can beat me, that's a bad place to be. Some of the greatest mix engineers, some of the greatest recording artists, some of the greatest producers out there are those that are continually learning from another person, regardless of their age, regardless of their background, regardless of who they are, whether it be male, female, a kid. A lot of you have already seen, I am a huge advocate for learning. And that's not just because I sell courses or I have teaching Skype sessions like that, but it's also because I love to learn. And I know that that's what gets you better. And my whole goal here is to help to get you guys better. And so if I can do that by allowing you to know like it's okay to learn, then I've completed at least part of my task on this channel, which is to help you guys out. So with all that being said, I don't want to go, too deep into this, but I really was blown away by the amount of submissions, the people that did submit. You guys are all so awesome. Timothy Reynolds, so glad to see you here, buddy. You just missed my heartfelt speech. I'm sorry. Or maybe I'm not sorry. Maybe you didn't want to hear that. Anyway, before I get all emotional, you guys are awesome, man. So along those same lines, like Pirate Beach, actually that brings up a good, discussion too, because I remember, I actually met you through Bon Gonzo's channel. And I think Bon Gonzo, by bringing him on here, a lot of people were kind of like, what do you bring him on here for? Like, that's not even your thing. But the thing is, like, there's people on my channel that is their thing. And if I can't help them, then I got to bring someone on here who can. That's my job. That's what I want to do. And so by bringing him on here, not only did I create an awesome friendship with this young man who I have a lot of respect for. I mean, he's got a good head on his shoulders. He has a definite direction. He knows where he wants to go and he knows how he's going to get there. And I appreciate that from him. So by bringing him on here and letting him know, like, dude, you're welcome into my space. Just because you do EDM, hip hop music, that's fine. That's not what I do, but that's fine. I want you to show my people what you can do. And it's going to help everyone in the community. So, all right, I'm going to come down off my soapbox now, because we have got to the point now where I think it's going to be the time to go ahead and announce exactly Pirate Beats. He is 16 and crushing it. Much respect to him. And the last I checked, he's already went up like another 400 subscribers, which he deserves that. So if you're into beat making or loop produced music, anything like that, EDM, hip hop, go and check out Bon Gonzo's channel. You got to check him out. He like bangs out beats in a matter of minutes. It's not necessarily my thing, but if it's your thing, go over there and check it out. I love to mix that kind of stuff, but I cannot wrap my head around it to make it. I mean, I can, but it just takes me forever. He can do it in like a matter of minutes. So let's go ahead and find out who won. You guys want to do that? So yes, you're more than welcome to interact, by the way. So if you want to hop on here and ask questions while we're doing this, that's fine. I try to get to every one of my questions. And remember, if you have a question that you're afraid may not get answered, I try to get to all of them. So I'm not saying that you have to, but if you have a question that you want to make for sure that it gets answered, there is a small little S in the bottom of your chat screen that stands for a super chat. You can donate any amount of money in that super chat, and that will push your question all the way up to the top and make sure that I see it. And also anyone who donates to the super chat, whether it be $1 or $1 million, you're going to get a freebie from me. Just make sure that before the stream is over, you contact me either through homestudiosimplified@gmail and let me know what your email address is or something. And then I'll send you, usually it's like a free course, or it's a free, some kind of a freebie. So, Zave has a real quick question before we get to this. Love you, Zave. Good to have you on here, buddy. I was having some Zave withdrawals. I didn't see you on here. On the next show, I have a question about loops, etc. It can wait for the next show. Okay. We're probably going to have time here too. I mean, we're going to announce a winner. Yes, I'm going to show you a few things, but we should have time before the end of the show if you want to ask that question, man. That's what it's all about. So Silvermane is sharing with the world his email address. Okay. I'm assuming that's because he plans on donating through the super chat or something. So he wants me to send him something. That's cool. Back at you, bro, he says. All right. So we're going to go ahead and announce the winner. I'm very excited about this. Like I said, so many great submissions, so many great people. Man, it was just phenomenal. Like I said, I words cannot describe. Okay. I know I keep trying to, but words cannot describe what it is. Oh man. So, okay. Anyway, here's the results. This is what I seen on my end. It ended last night. And then, so I took it down, but here's the results. Obviously, if you can see who the winner is, but in case you can't because your screen is too small, the winner is, ladies and gentlemen, it was Chris Sanders with The Garden Song. Very, very cool song. So I'm looking forward to being able to work on that song. Now, Chris Sanders, because you won, or anyone who knows Chris Sanders and can get a hold of him, because I don't personally keep everyone's email addresses. Send him my way. Let him know that he won. And then what he needs to do next is he needs to send me the multi-tracks. So I need him to go into his production, whatever he's working with, and then split all of those files out to multi-tracks, just dry, no effects on them, and make sure that, hey, Chris Sanders is here. Awesome. Thank you so much. Awesome. Good to have you, Chris. So Chris, if you want to just whatever DAW that you're using, I'm assuming you're using Cakewalk, whatever DAW that you're using though, I just need the stems, and I need those completely dry, no effects or anything like that. Unless they're, I mean, if it's like a effect that's printed onto the track, like it's baked into the track, I can work with that. But if I could have like the least amount of stuff done to it as possible. And then if you are working in Cakewalk, send it as a Cakewalk bun file, because that will be that will dramatically improve the turnaround time. I mean, it's going to be huge. And if you don't know how to export a bun file, I can actually show you how to do that before we leave this stream. So congratulations, Chris. I love the song. I'm excited to get a chance to mix and master this song for you. I'm glad that you won. And, you know, yet again, this was so hard. And the main thing, Sydney Sanders says, that's my dad. Awesome. Congratulations, Sydney. Your dad has an awesome talent, and he's using it for the Lord. That's amazing. So he's using Studio One. That's fine. As long as you just export those as stem files, just individual files, individual tracks. So you don't give me like the whole mix down. I need those individual tracks. If you can do that, now that's what I'll need. Now, if you don't know how to, obviously you can't do the, hey, Matt, nice to see you, buddy. So obviously you can't export a bun file through Cakewalk, but what you can do is you can start, if you have a G drive, if you have a Google account, you have access to a G drive. It's free online storage. You get, I think it's like 10 gigabytes, something like that. That's completely free. And then you can upload your files there and just simply send me a link, and then I can go and download that. That way you don't have to try to figure out how to send a huge file over the internet. That's the way I like to do it anyway. So congratulations, Chris. Yet again, awesome song and awesome submissions by everybody. I mean, I am so glad that I was not in that unique position to have to just pick one, that I actually had a vote on it, because that would have been very hard for me to say, okay, this is the best one. I think there would have been no way by far. So awesome. Sounds like you're right on board, Chris. You know exactly how to do it, and that's good. So now, as far as a turnaround, as soon as I get the tracks, I'll mix them, or I'll bring them all into my session, label them, do all that stuff, and I'll kind of give it like a real quick listen, and then I can get back with you and let you know like how long I think that it might take to get you your mix and your master back. It shouldn't be too long. I'm not actually going back to work now until June 19th, so I should have time to fit that into my busy schedule. But I'm looking forward to it. You guys are amazing, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes from here too. That song could be a huge blessing to a lot of people. I know when I was listening to it, there's just so much conviction in your lyrics. It's absolutely amazing. So, okay. Let's see. Trying to look at the chat here and make sure that I'm not missing anything. Lots of congrats. Charles Lowry. Hey, Charles, good to have you, buddy. He's hopped on the stream. So good to have every one of you that have not been here up until this point. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for coming on and showing support as well to Chris. And honestly, that's what I think with Mr. Lowry's and Chris's song. That's ultimately what got them bumped up in that list. Is you guys, man, you must have been like fast fingers on those share buttons, like getting it out there. Cause I was like, good night. Overnight, them things just like shot up there. And I was like, oh, sorry. I got a text from a artist. Gotta put that on the back burner. Okay. So, nice blues chops the other day on your country jam there, Robert. Oh yeah. Yeah. I was trying. So Silvermane, Wesley John, Weekend Warrior is an MP3 and remixed with a German dude who helped me out a lot with the lead guitar, and the guy who modeled Beat Buddy drums. So sad I was only just learning how to. Okay. I'm not seeing, can somebody help me? Like, oh, Ella Perry. Yo, nice to have you, Ella. That's my brother-in-law's dad. Wow, you guys are so supportive. Just hopping on here and helping one another. That is so supportive. You guys are awesome. God bless each and every one of you. You guys are so cool for showing that support. Silvermane, I'm still trying to figure out, like, I see a lot of stuff that's going on here. You're talking about, okay. Okay, so you're promoting your song. That's fine. I'm the guy who told you YouTube. All right. I'm reading through all of these things from Silvermane, and I'm still not completely clear on what he's trying to accomplish here. I don't know if he's like trying to, I don't know. Maybe you could email me and let me know like what your ideas are and everything that I think you know what you're trying to say, but I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Chris says it was family support and I am blessed. Yes, brother, you are. That's awesome to see that much support. Silvermane is like going to town, man. He's on the coffee, I think. What do we got here? We got messages being retracted for some reason. Not sure why. Anyway. Okay. So, I wanted to show you guys real quickly too, something that, oh yeah, I can't forget about that. How could I forget about that? We have a giveaway going away. Wait, we have a giveaway going on right now. If you go onto the Facebook page, facebook.com/Home Studio Simplified, you'll see it there. You can also see it on the giveaways tab, which is on my website. So you can go to homestudiosimplified.com. There's a little tab up there. It says giveaways. Go in there and check that out. I'm having a celebration for 4,000 subscribers. I should have done it like weeks ago, but I was holding off because I thought I'm going to reach 5,000 before I can even do this giveaway. But then I thought, well, no, I need to go ahead and do it because I want to. So big things are coming for the 5,000 sub giveaway. I just ordered some products that you're going to like, by the way. So we got to get them sub counts up, guys. I want to get to 5,000. That's my goal for this month. I know it's a huge goal. I got 3 days. But anyway, Kendall Coley says he's already entered. So basically, essentially, it's just like my other giveaways. You have a series of things that you have to do in order to open up entries for the next thing. So one thing that you could do is, Chris is my college roommate's uncle. Great. Oh my goodness. The family love. What's going on here? Friends, family, bringing everybody on. You guys rock. But essentially you just go and you complete like some social things, like sharing it on Twitter, like the Facebook page, stuff like that. And then you open up, every time you do that, you get an entry. And then when you do those first 3, you actually unlock a bonus entry where you can share it with your friends through email or text. And that gets you 10 entries. So the whole goal of this, other than just building up a subscriber count, because at the end of the day, that's not what it's all about. It's not about numbers. It's about how many people can I get here to help? And it's about how many people can I get here to introduce you guys to help as well, because I would love to see this evolve into something. I hate that word evolve, but I'm using it. I would love to see this evolve into something to where eventually we could start like some smaller groups of one-on-ones, like Skype lessons, training, like live, like today we're going to sit down and we're going to mix a song together and you guys can ask questions while I'm doing it. I'd love to get to that point too, where I can get individuals who have, I know James Sheets is signed up for $10 a month Patreon. So he's actually getting some Skype calls and he's already getting his skills up to par and up to speed. I'd love to be able to bring people on board like that who can actually help to offset in the areas where like maybe I don't have time to jump on a Skype and help you out this week. I could get one of you who I've kind of brought up through the ranks and said, okay, I feel confident this person could do a good job with you. And then say, hey, Mark, hey, Chris, hey, Kendall, whoever it might be, Pirate Beats, whoever it might be. I've got an individual that's interested in a Skype call and they're needing some help with a mix. Would you be willing to hop on and help them out? And so that would be super cool to be able to have this whole community of everyone helping one another out and just building up one another. So with all that being said, the giveaway is on the community tab. It's on the Facebook page. It's on Twitter. Anywhere you go, I'm pretty much going to be posting that. It's on the website under the giveaways tab. Go and check that out. The winners, there's going to be 6 winners. Chris is my sister's father-in-law. Great guy. Oh my goodness. Chris, you have got a following, brother. Friends and family represent. Man alive. You guys are awesome. So at any rate, there's going to be six things given away. 3 people are going to get a copy of the Creating a Song Step-by-Step video series, and 3 more people are Cakewalk by BandLab tutorials. Sorry. And then 3 more people are going to get a copy of the Compression Simplified course. So super cool. And you do have to be a subscriber to win, though. I have to make mention of that, because I didn't post that in the first one. So as long as you're a YouTube subscriber and you complete those steps, you'll get in there. So Charles says, my pleasure. I'm glad you won. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Now, if this would have been any other community, well, I can't say any other community. I know Warren Hewitt has got an amazing community too of helpful people, but I have seen in some communities where a person wins, you see it actually, here's a good example. You see it on the Sweetwater page for the Win It Wednesday, when someone doesn't win and they're like, oh man, I should have won that, and yada, yada, yada. Instead of just saying, hey, congratulations, man, that's awesome. They want to go all the other direction. So anyway, Silvermane, Wesley John, that may be the answer. Oh, okay. That's what I'm talking about. See, my buddy Tim Reynolds hopping up to the plate, helping people out in the chat when I can't get to it. That's what this is about. Super cool. Okay, guys. So real quickly, while we're here, we've already talked about the giveaway. We've already talked about the winners. Now I want to actually show you, while we're all here, something that I think is really cool. So I've told you how James has become a $10 a month Patreon member, and we just had 2 Skype calls. Okay. That's all we've had out of the 4 that he's allotted. And, oh, by the way, thank you, Tim. That's awesome. So in the first Skype call, we literally just sat down and we hammered out, and they're supposed to be 30-minute lesson, Skype calls, but they're going on for like an hour because I like to talk. That's why I'm on here. So anyway, that first 30-minute session we got on, and I just drilled down, niched down, said, okay, what exactly is your goal? What's your passion? He said, I want to learn how to mix better, and I want to release my own stuff and have it sound better. So once we got that out of the way in that Skype session, we had some good conversation about mic placement. We had some good conversation about how to treat his room properly. On the next Skype session, we talked, of course, we talked in between there too on Messenger, but on the next Skype session, we talked about if those actually improved anything. And he came back and said, yes, there was dramatic improvement in the sound of the microphone. And there's also been a dramatic improvement in the room itself. So with that being said, now let's talk about the mix itself. So last night we hopped on a Skype call. We brought up the mix. He has the same mix that I have because he sent me the Cakewalk bun file, and we brought up the exact same mix. I literally just showed him on screen, step by step, like, here's what I'm doing. Step 1, here's what I'm doing. Step 2, I went through that. Thank you, Tim, for bringing that up. But I went through that 15-step mixing process. We landed on step 4, where we were folding the mix down to mono, bringing all the faders down. And when we brought it all up, I want you to listen to what happened on step 4. And there is a catch to this. And when I show you the catch, I'm hoping that you'll be like, what? So let's hop on over to the desktop real quick. And I'm going to show you, hopefully this is what's been crashing my computer. So hopefully this does not crash my computer at this point in time. Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out, Pirate Beats. Okay, so this is James's mix as he sent it to me, okay? Now, I've removed his vocals because we haven't mixed the vocals yet, and I wouldn't feel comfortable with someone displaying my vocals unmixed, so I'm not going to do that without his permission. But I am going to display just the mix part of it because I think it's going to still come through. And not to mention the next Skype call, we're going to take that whole Skype call and work just on mixing vocals. So this is James' mix as he sent it to me, just straight out of the gate, okay? Take a listen. Okay, sounds really good. Actually, when I got the tracks, I was like, wow, good job, James. However, having the trained ear, the years of experience of doing this, I knew there were some things that could actually make this sound better. So that's what we did on that Skype meeting last night. Now I want to let you hear what we did to it, and then I'm going to show you the big caveat to this, and you're probably going to be, I'm hoping you're going to be like mind blown. Okay. So now this is my mix. Okay, so now using the exclusive solo mode that's found within Cakewalk right here, I'm going to A-B back and forth between the two so that you can hear the difference. Because as of right now, it doesn't sound too dramatic, but let me just hold on with me here a minute. Okay, so we're going to start out with his, and then I'm going to A-B back and forth. And mine. His. And mine. Okay, so this is what it's all about, all right? Training your ear to hear certain things. In his version, I want you to listen for the low mids. Close your eyes and really focus in on those low mids, the bass guitar and the kick and the sort of the chug of the guitars, okay? We're going to start with his again. Listen to the low mids. Okay, now listen to mine. Now, if you had a set of headphones on especially, I'm sure you were able to hear those low mids just cleaned up entirely. The guitar set better. The kick was punchier. The bass wasn't fighting anymore with the kick. Now here's the big, like, that whenever I mentioned it to him, he looked at me, he goes like, what? So his mix had about 16, 17 plugins on it, okay, to get it to that point. My mix has no plugins whatsoever. None. And when I told him that, he was like, he kind of had that look of disbelief. So I had to literally, because we were sharing screens on Skype, I pulled it up and I showed him, I said, there's not even anything on the Pro channel other than what we did right now here together, which is EQ. All we did was EQ. But other than that, there's absolutely no plugins on that. Now, so here's the thing, and I'll answer that question here in just a minute, Silvermane. So here's the thing. The panning actually remained the same, Zave. Believe it or not. It just opened up because of the way that it was mixed. This is where it comes down to actually having that hands-on, like, having someone on screen be able to show you. And that's what I want to be able to open up this platform for. I want to be able to do live sessions where I can just bring up a mix and say, okay, guys, we're all going to sit down here. We're going to mix this together. I'm going to show you my process. It may not be the best process. It may not even be, you know, the process that you would do, but here's my process. And then you can take those principles and apply them anywhere. So, awesome. Thanks, Charles. Appreciate that. So yet again, this is just a glimpse into what 2 Skype calls have done. Now, James is at a point where he can get his song, because he's watched me do this, he can get his song to this point now in 2 Skype calls. That's what I'm talking about. So, and what I'm trying to do right now is not, I'm not selling you anything. I don't have anything to sell you today. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to sort of validate the reasons of why you would want to be here. Validate the reasons of why it would be important for you to have a mentor in your life to help you along. Now, am I the best? Absolutely not. And I've been the first to tell everyone, no, I'm not the best. I look up to a lot of people that I think are way better than me. But do I know more than most? I believe so. And I believe that I can help people get to that next level. And then after that, when they get to that next level, then they can take that wherever they want. They can say, okay, well, I'm going to learn from this person or that person. But if I can at least get you to that point where, like right now, I believe even with no plugins, we could drop that vocal in there, do a little bit of balancing on that vocal, and that song would be ready to release to the world just the way it is. And that's just a balance with the faders and EQ. That's all it is. There's no compression, no reverb, no delay tricks, nothing. So with all that being said, I'm going to go back and answer. Oh, well, Tim is on it. Okay. Right on. And a very good explanation, by the way, too. Thank you, Tim. So yeah, if you guys aren't familiar with what stems are, Tim has just done a wonderful job of explaining that. A stem is just basically, I want to hear it with a vocal. We'll be displaying that next week maybe. But at any rate, so a stem is just literally, so you have your mix is all of the tracks on your project folded down into a stereo track. All of your mono and stereo tracks are now folded down into one stereo track. Now, what this a stem is all of those individual tracks being exported just as they are. And by doing that, when you export them as WAV files, then you can fly them into any DAW, whether it be Pro Tools, Studio One, Cubase, whatever it might be. You can fly any of those in there and they'll all be in the same timing, the same pitch, the same key that they need to be, and everything will be basically, that mix engineer will be looking at exactly what you're looking at. They'll have the same canvas, so to speak, just a different paintbrush. So, James, good to see you on here, buddy. We was just displaying your song. If you just hopped on, kudos to you, man. This song it's a really good song too. I can't wait till you guys can hear the vocals. So, the next one I want to showcase is Marc Burgstahler. Now, he was a member of the Quarantined Song Challenge, and he actually submitted a song, and he won through the Wheel of Awesomeness. Good job, Sensei. He actually won through the Wheel of Awesomeness a mix critique. So he sent me his mix, or actually he used the Circle the Wagons, and he said, okay, this is the one that I've submitted for the song challenge. Will you give me a mix critique on that? So I literally pulled the song up. I did a video much like this, like I do on my channel, and I went through the whole song. I gave him 4 tips that I thought would really bring that thing up to speed. Now, just from the mix critique, this is not me even getting on the screen and showing him what to do. Yet again, we're validating the reason of why this is a good place to be. We're validating the reason of why we can achieve more together. We're validating the reason for the whole purpose of this channel and for this community that we have together, okay? So, yet again, he just took those 4 tips that I gave him, applied them, used his own, head knowledge, heart knowledge of how he wanted this mix to sound, and this is where it brought his mix to. So this was the first original mix. This was the Circle the Wagons that he actually submitted for the Quarantine Song Challenge. So this is the very first one that he submitted. Okay, so yet again, does not sound bad at all. In fact, sounds really good, but there's still some things from trained ears, years of experience, yet again, that I heard that I thought, these 4 things right here, I think would really make it better. He went and applied that. And here's the thing too, guys, all of this stuff, like I know Silvermane's talking about, his, he's a 70-year-old artist who only has a music mindset, hates the techie stuff. And that's, well, honestly, that's where we get caught up in, regardless of what age we are. But here's the thing, by learning all this stuff is one thing, and sitting down and binging on videos. Oh, Pirates Beats, and he probably didn't say anything wrong. I'm not even sure what he said. It won't even let me see what you said. All right, I'm going to remove Streamlabs as a moderator. That way you can... Okay, I see what you said. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. So, Supreme Riffage, they thought that was bad? Really? Okay, well, Streamlabs is going to be removed now from being a moderator, so they can't do that anymore. But anyway, essentially, sitting down and binging on videos and watching all this stuff and learning the tips and the tricks is awesome, but if you never apply it, it's like almost like, why are you even doing it? So, this individual, Mark, took the mix critique with constructive criticism, and he said, okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to actually apply what I've learned. So yet again, I'm going to start out with his, and then we're going to A/B over to mine, or not to mine, but after he's implemented the things that I asked him to do in my mix critique. So the first one will be his, and then we'll go back to his new with the mix critique. Okay, back to the original. Okay, so I really want you to pay attention to the low mids and the bass again. This is the area that a lot of people have a problem with. So this first one we're listening to, this is before, and I'm going to switch over to the critique, but listen to those low mids. So right now we're still listening to the original. I'll switch back over to the critique here in just a second. Awesome. Simply awesome. So, and the cool thing is I emailed him. I said, dude, this is awesome, because he shared it with me. He said, thank you so much for the mix critique. It helped out a ton. I said, is it okay if I share this with the community? He was like elated. He's like, yes, please. And then he even went a step farther and told me what he did. Obviously he followed the 4 steps that I gave him, which was 1, take off the stereo widening plugin. He said and sure enough, I was right. He had Ozone 8, I think it was. And he said it was just like all over the place. So, I will get to that here in just a second, Tim, and Pirate Beats. Okay. So first off, he took off Ozone 8 because he thought, like most people do, and it sounds really great in headphones. I'm not going to lie. That Ozone would give it that huge stereo sound that you're wanting to get. Well, then, he said after he removed it, he realized like the bass it was more present, but it didn't quite sound like he wanted. So then he even went as far as to hire a friend to play a real bass part. He said he tried to play a bass part, but he's not really a bass player. That's me. So he hired a friend to get a bass player on there. And then he did the EQ adjustments that I asked him to make, which was in the low mids. And I know you're all still wondering. And then he put some reverb on the lead guitar, which I also suggested, and brought it back in the mix just a little bit to help it to set in the mix better. Now, just those 4 steps took that mix, in my honest opinion, took that mix from a really great sounding mix to like an awesome sounding mix, to where now when I listened to them, I A-B'd them, one on my system, his original, and then the critique. I'm like, man, that's dramatic difference, but maybe it's just my system playing tricks on me. Took it out to the car, because we all know that's like the end game, like if you take it to the car and it sounds good, you've accomplished something in your life. So I took it out to the car and I was like, oh yeah, it's all there. It's all balanced. It's all good. So kudos to you, Mark, man, you knocked it out of the park, and thank you for allowing me to give you that constructive criticism. A lot of people, when you start critiquing mixes, they get precious with it. And they're like, no, don't tell me that. I know it sounds great. Well, how long have you been doing this? And I realize that music is subjective too. Like, it might be one of those things where you like that sound of that really wide stereo sound, and the bass is kind of muffled and smeared all over the place. Maybe that's what you like. But for most songs to sound good everywhere, they got to have a definitive, like each instrument has to have a place to set and a place that sounds nice for it. So yeah. What are the low mids? So that's come in the questions here. And then I'll get to your question as well, Mark. So Pirate Beats and Timothy Reynolds, your low mids are usually around 250 to 500 hertz. And that's give or take depending on the instrument too. But usually that's the area where you are going to have the most muffled sounds. It's almost like if you start, now don't go through your entire mix and just cut everything out in that area. That's not what I'm saying, because some things actually have fundamental frequencies in those areas. But what I am saying is that's usually that area, especially with bass, where things just kind of tend to get, like, I can almost say definitively, not every case, please don't take me on that, but almost definitively every single bass guitar will benefit from having 500 hertz or close to that dipped out of it, just a tad. And what I mean by bringing the guitar down a few dBs is, so each one of these meters here has a volume slider, and those volume sliders are measured in dBs or decibels. And so by bringing it down 1 or 2 dBs, I literally mean like taking it down to -0.1, -0.2 if it was at 0. So a lot of times what I've heard in mixes that have been sent to me for critiquing or anything like that, a lot of times what I hear is it may not even be the effects that's on that instrument. It's just that it's literally just too loud, and you can just bring it down a few dBs. And I've actually done this before. I had a individual send me a mix and was like, man, I can't wrap my head around why this bass guitar will not sit in the mix. And so I thought, okay, well, I could probably do some mixing ninja tricks on this and get it to sit in there. And, and they sent it to me. Okay, I'm sorry. I got James sending me questions at the same time that I'm on here. Oh, yeah. Okay. James actually just asked a really good question. I'll get to that on here in just a second. But basically, he sent me the mix. He couldn't get the bass to set well. I literally brought it all into my session here. I turned the bass down 3 dBs, sent it back, and he goes, dude, what did you do to this mix? This mix sounds amazing. What did you do? I said, literally, I brought the bass down 3 dBs. That's all I did. And because those bass frequencies were now not the predominant thing that you were hearing, it then frees your ears up to hear the other things that are going on in the mix. So it brings clarity. But yet again, a lot of this stuff just takes time to really develop an ear and to develop, great song, Mark. What's your lyrics? Truly Robert's remix is better. No, that's the thing that I'm saying here, Silvermane. That was not my remix. That was just my critique. He did the remix. So he just took my critique, like, of here's some things I think you could do to make it better. And then he went and applied those things and made it better. So literally he did that himself. And that's my goal here. My goal is not to have everyone send me their stuff and me mix it and make a career out of mixing. My goal is to get you guys to the point where you can mix your own stuff. And then you can start getting clients to mix. And then if I get overwhelmed with clients myself, I could say, hey, you know what? I don't have time to mix your song, and maybe that's not my genre of music. So I'm going to send you over here. This individual who, I've helped over the years, they've gotten so good. I am more than confident that I can send you this work. So sorry, but do you do that with volume sliders or EQ? No, that was just with the volume sliders with the dBs. Now, dBs are measured in the EQ as well. So that might be a little bit confusing. I see what you're saying. So the same thing applies with dBs, because essentially an EQ is basically like a volume slider, but for certain frequencies. So with an EQ, I'll turn this on here real quick. So with an EQ, instead of turning down the whole track, I can pick a group of frequencies and just turn them down by themselves by 3 dBs, as you can see here. And the reason why 3 dBs is sort of like the go-to for me is because it's scientifically, it's been proven that 3 dBs is that point in which your ear registers a change in audio levels. At 3 dBs, either boosting or cutting, your ear picks up on an actual change. Now, as you begin to grow in your mixing career, as you begin to grow, you teach your ears and train your ears things, then you can get to that point where you start going, okay, wait a minute. 1 dB actually makes this better. And you'll be in a room with people that are listening to it, especially artists or something will come in here sometimes. And I'll be like, oh man, I need to turn that lead vocal down by 1 dB. And they look at you after you do it and they're like, I don't hear anything different. what did you just do? But me personally, I'm like, yeah, I heard that. And they're like, no, dude, you're crazy. And I'm like, yes, I am crazy. I'm nuttier than squirrel poop. If you guys haven't seen the new shirt, by the way, I just put in the shop. You guys got to go check that out. It's hilarious. Keith Lane, who frequents the channel a lot, he came on here one day and said something, and I told him he was nuttier than squirrel poop. And everyone thought that was hilarious. They'd never heard it. So I decided I'm going to make a shirt out of that. So if you want the nuttier than squirrel poop shirt, there's a link in the description of this video where you can go to my Threadless shop, and I've got a bunch of different t-shirts on there you can buy to help support the channel. And one of them is now nuttier than squirrel poop. So Tim says, I got a 12 p.m. Pacific time Zoom business meeting. Loved the live stream. Sorry I missed the giveaways. Thanks to all. Tim, really great having you. The giveaways are still going on. They'll be going on all the way up until next month. June 26th, I believe, is when the giveaway is done. So definitely, you can still hop in on that. Thanks for hopping on and helping out. Appreciate that. I hope I was able to provide some value. So, all right. So James, here's the question that he sent me on the, the shiny object that distracted me for a moment. And it's a good question. He says, almost all of the mixed video teachers on YouTube state that it isn't about numbers, but what you hear. And he says, I get that, but is there a list of best frequencies for mixing as a starting point? Okay, so now there is, and even like what you sent me here, there's not a set frequency. Thank you so much, Silvermane. You're awesome. There's not so much a set frequency of exactly where you need to go. But the reason why mix engineers, myself included, will call out certain numbers is not because we're saying that's where you need to cut or boost every single time, but what we're saying is that's what I hear. It's probably in that area. And a lot of times what happens is, oh, Silvermane, thank you so much. $5 super chat. You're the man. So basically what you hear is when a mix engineer says, I'm going to make a boost around this area, or I'm going to make, and I think some of this is coming because, see, the other night when me and James were on the Skype call, I knew that I had to be quick because I didn't want to, he had a time frame, and obviously I've got a time frame too. So when I was doing the EQing, I was literally telling him, like, I'm just going to go off of instinct and what I know, instead of saying, hey, I think I'll go in here about 32.5 dBs and boost at Q of 3. And the reason why I instinctively said, this is where I'm going to go, because when you begin to do this more and more and more, you start to, okay, this bass guitar sounds like that bass guitar sounded in that mix. And I remember what I did in that mix. I cut this and I boosted that. You start to get to this point where you build this reservoir of knowledge, and almost like you get this head knowledge of what sounds are supposed to sound like. And then you get to this point where you just instinctively go, oh, there's like a nasally hum in there. I need to go take out 700 kilohertz. Oh, I hear almost like a lispy sound on that vocal. I need to go to 3,000 to 4,000 kilohertz, find that and dip it out. So as far as there being like a guide of this is where you need to go and some good places to start. If you own the Cakewalk by BandLab template that I sell, it's only $10, but if you own that template, it actually has over here, which I might be able to bring that up. Hopefully my computer doesn't crash by me doing that. But anyway, if you bring that template up, it actually has in the sidebar of every single one of them tracks good starting points, just exactly for that reason. Because I wanted to make that, I didn't want to just sell a template that, oh, here's a pretty template that's got pretty colors. I wanted to sell a template that was actually, doing something, like helping you. So this actually has what's called pro tips, and that's why it's called the Pro Start template, because on the side of it, it's got tips on, if you click on the vocal track, it's got vocal tips. It's got a pro tip on each track, and then it's got suggested areas for EQ. So if you own the Pro Start template, just use that template, and what you can do is, maybe if you don't like all of the tracks that are in there, just simply use that, change out whatever you want, and then resave it as a new template, and then you can still have all that information. But what I might try to do is, I might try to just go ahead and have, maybe that would be a good sort of a master class is to just do like an EQ master class with you guys, take you through a mix and show you what I'm doing with it EQ wise, what got me to that decision, why would I do that, and then just go from there and say, okay, like here's how you can apply this to every mix. Because the thing is, I truly believe that everybody can be a great mix engineer. I mean, unless you have serious hearing problems, you're deaf in one ear, or God forbid you have tinnitus or something like that, I believe that everyone really has the ability with their ears to do that. It's just a matter of knowing the principles. Once you get the principles down, you can apply those same principles to everything. So, all right. So yeah, this is the Pro Start template, and I wish I could zoom in on this. I think there's a way to do it, but I'm not smart enough. I haven't figured it out yet. I figured out how to get fancy stuff on the screen, but I haven't figured out how to zoom in. Isn't that crazy? So anyway, if I click on the vocal track here, and then I go over to the clip pane, the track pane, you'll see right here, there's a bunch of stuff wrote. So in the lead vocal, I have high pass at 80 Hertz. Fullness is found at 120. The boom or the presence, or the boom is found at 2 to 240 Hertz. Presence around 5 to 6,000 kilohertz. Sibilance is usually around 7.5 to 10,000 kilohertz. Now what this does is these are not definitive, like, hey, go here and boost this every single time, you're going to have a great vocal, or go here and cut this. But what it is it's a good starting point. Like if you're hearing boominess, then you can go over here and say, okay, where's that boominess at? Oh, it's around 200 to 240 kilohertz. Well, I'll go try in that area and hunt for that and see if that works. Or this vocal doesn't have enough presence. What can I do to get it some more presence? Well, I know that in the 5 to 6,000 kilohertz area, as this has told me, that's where the presence is at. So it's just a really quick way to, and then I have the same thing with the backing vocals. But then each one of these also has a pro tip. So at the bottom, you'll see one of the pro tips on this. It says vocals are a priority in most genres. This is the one track that you can solo to make adjustments. And I always tell people, like, don't solo tracks and make adjustments, major adjustments. Now there will be from time to time while you're mixing, you need to solo a track to go, okay, why is that? Am I hearing that in this track or is it in another track? That's perfectly fine, but don't make huge sweeping adjustments to a track when it's in solo, because you're not hearing it in context with the rest of the mix. And then what'll happen is you'll bring it back into the context of the mix and you go, whoa, what just happened? It's not sounding right at all. So you got to be careful with that. But yeah, if you go down through here on the whole thing, the whole pro template, you'll see this. And James, I believe, yeah, if you're a $10 a month Patreon member, you've already got the Pro Startup template. Just the one thing that I think might be sort of a better service to you guys, instead of providing it on here where you have to use the template to get those. Maybe you're right, James. Maybe I should just create Mixing Ninja. Hey, that's on the shirt side. If you want to go and pick up one of those, you can become a Mixing Ninja too. Maybe just create like a PDF document for you guys of some, like, these are areas that you need to check out. And then you don't necessarily have to use the Pro Start template. You can use your own templates. Maybe I should do that. That would be a huge service to you guys. Oh, by the way, we did have a $5 Patreon, or not Patreon. I'm getting them all mixed up and flabbergasted here. We got a $5 super chat, which means to anybody who's been around here long enough, can we say it in the chat? Do we know what that means if we got a super chat? I'll go ahead and wait, because I'm sure you guys know what this means. I'm trying to pull it up right now. For those of you that do know what it means, you're like, I know what he's doing. He's trying to get it ready. And for those of you that don't know what it means, you're going, what's he talking about? Well, get ready, because you're about ready to find out. So anytime that we have a super chat, not only does that individual get a freebie from me, but that individual also opens up the lines for none other than the Wheel of Awesomeness. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Wheel of Awesomeness. All right, so how this works is, if you've never seen this before, this is your first time here, basically, oh, I've lost my placer here, my pick. that shows where the wheel of awesomeness. Oh man. Well, anyway, we can fix that. No big deal. I can't find out where that picture is either. That stinks. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, I can't seem to find out what happened to the pick that's supposed to show what got picked. That was the whole reason of why I picked it. It was to be a pun. Okay, well, anyway, we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel, ladies and gentlemen, because that's what we like to do when we get super chats. Here we are. Thank you, Silvermane Wesley John, for allowing us to spin the wheel. So if the pick was there, and it's not, it would have landed on the tutorial video request. So if any of you have a tutorial video request, go ahead and drop that in the comment section, and we will go about giving away that tutorial video. Basically, this gives you guys the opportunity to say, hey, I want you to make this tutorial. Gives me the opportunity to say, hey, that sounds like a good idea. And then everyone benefits from it because I make the tutorial. I have a feeling like it's probably going to be on, I don't know, EQ. Maybe. We shall see. I need to figure out where that pick went. That's driving me nuts. So there's the wheel. And there's the, oh, okay. I know I probably shouldn't be fadaddling around with the wheel while we're trying to do this, but you just don't understand. My OCD will not allow me to go any farther until I know where that pick is at. There has to be a pick there, for crying out loud. Okay. Oh, compression tricks. Nice. Okay. Okay. EQ would be great too, he says. Good deal. And just behind the scenes right now, I'm working on getting that pick back. All right, let's see if that did it. Yeah, it's back. I'm not sure why that one's still on there. Okay, so that makes the wheel go away. No, come back, wheel. All right, I'll figure that out later. I think I know what it is anyway. All right, so quote the email and site again. Oh, okay. So the email is home studio. Actually, I'll just include it in the chat here real quick for you. Boom. There's the email. And the site is the same. You just put www.com in between all that. And there's that. Yes, jazz picks are where it's at. How to turn terrible vocals into something good. Now, if you're referring to your own vocals, I want to let you know something, okay? That song that you submitted was amazing. So don't be beating yourself up. The vocal sounded just fine. Now, if you're talking about someone else's vocals, I can't speak for them. So, but if you're talking about your song, that song was really cool. Really cool. Had a good vibe to it. Loved the feel of it. Yeah, so don't beat yourself up about that. There are ways to take, not so desirable vocals and make them sound a little bit better. Yes. There's auto-tune. There's Melodyne, which I like to use. It sounds a little bit more natural. There's really EQ and reverb can go a long way with making a vocal sound a lot better as well. So yeah, there's definitely ways to do it. Yeah, exactly. Pirate Beats, you got it. But still, I mean, that's not going to make the average person sound like, you know, insert famous singer here. Oh, nice. Do you still have your BR800? That's a question. Ooh, Melodyne tutorial, he says. Now, I have to admit, I am a cheapskate and have never updated from the Melodyne 4, I believe, is what I got now. Just the free Melodyne that came with the original Sonar Platinum when I bought that. So I don't have like the high dollar premium paid version, which honestly, in my opinion, is very overpriced. But I mean, there's other free alternatives too. I use one of the vocal plugins that I use for tuning that actually works really good. See if I can find it here. It's not Nectar Elements. Oh, Pitch Time right here. Yeah, M Auto Pitch. This is a free plugin, by the way. I have not seen the new update. I've seen that they have an update, but I haven't physically seen the update. So yeah, this here is a free plugin from, is it Melda is the name of the, I'm not sure. At any rate, M Auto Pitch is free. And this right here actually sounds pretty amazing. You can get that T-Pain effect if you want, or you can set it conservatively and get some really good pitch correction without eating up a huge chunk of your CPU like Melodyne does. Which, you know, the good thing about Melodyne that I do like too, though, is if you get it to a point where it sounds good and you've pitch corrected well enough, you can actually just print it to the track. Melda, that's it. Melodyne, are they trying to, if I buy the template, get it on my, I actually have a video that comes with it when you download it, that shows you how to install it. That way I figured that would be a lot better service to individuals. But you're more than welcome to, you know, if you have a problem getting it on your computer, hit me up. Yeah, that's a great free auto tune plugin. But like I was getting ready to say though, with Melodyne, you can actually print it to the track. So you can, I mean, technically, bleh, I can't talk today, guys. What's going on? It's like my tongue is moving faster than what my, anyway, technically you can do that with any of these plugins. But I mean, you could print them to the track, but Melodyne has this thing where it's a region effect, and then you can actually like render. That's what it's called. Render the region effect. And then that basically just takes and removes that instance, does all of its changes. The only bad thing about that is obviously you can't undo that. So, which is why it's a good thing to save either versions of your mix or use your, right here, your mix recall. A lot of people don't use this, and it's like a huge time saver. Use this mix recall, you know, right before you're getting ready to do a major change. Save this as, you know, rough mix, and then start from there and do all of your EQ, your adjustments, your panning, and then save that as adjustments. And then if you go back and you listen later and you're like, man, those adjustments stunk, then just simply click back on the mix recall and go back to rough mix. And then you start back from scratch. No harm, no foul. Everything's good to go. So Pirate Beat says, I've seen people use Melodyne to match up backing vocals when the lead vocals, when they get a little off from each other. Yes, that is definitely an option of using it. However, oh no, don't abandon it, man. It is a little bit tricky. It is a little bit tricky to get used to at first, but do not abandon it. So essentially what you do is, okay, so just real quickly, we'll give a real quick mix recall tutorial here. I got Melodyne on my Mixcraft. Will it run independently with Cakewalk? I don't know about that one. I know you're allowed to only have one license, I believe, on one computer or two computers, but I don't know. I would try it. I mean, if you have it already on your computer, then you should be able to get Cakewalk to recognize it. So I would definitely try it. Definitely. At any rate, so let's say my volume over here, we'll set it back to 0. I'm going to set it at 0 here, and then I'm going to go to my mix recall, and I'm going to call this something. So this is my current scene. I'm going to put this as save as new scene. Oh, it's not going to let me because I don't have something there. All right, real quickly then, let me just do this. All right, I'll throw this in here real quick. Can't recall nothing if there's nothing there. Hello. Okay, so it's at 0. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to... I wonder why that's not letting me do that. Wait a minute. Well, isn't that interesting? Ironically enough, while I'm trying to show you this, it's not going to work. A free car. Yes. Hey, nice having you, Kendall. Sorry to see you go, buddy, but I understand. Okay, so... All right, so I've reset the mix. Now let's see what happens. Okay. Now I'm going to come down here and move stuff. And then I'm going to come over here and make a change on this. Wow. It's like it's not even working. What is up with that? Okay. Well, evidently don't use mix recall right now until they get that fixed or until I figure out why it's not working. That is messed up. I've never seen it do that. Yeah, like normally you can just go in here, boom, save scene. Oh, you know what? I bet it's because it's not saved in the first place. Okay. Hello. Let me go to save as. I'll save this as a test. I'm almost positive that's it. I feel like such a big dummy sometimes. There it is. You gotta save it, stupid. All right. I don't know what impersonation that was, by the way. I have a bunch of them, but that was, I'm not even sure what that one was. All right, so now I'm going to set all this to 0. So evidently you have to save it first. Okay, you actually have to have a project saved. Then I'm going to go up here. I'm going to put save as new scene. Woo. Zeroed out. Okay. And then I'm going to go in here. I'm going to turn everything down completely. Go back up to mix recall, save as a new scene. No volume. Okay. So as of right now, I'm on the no volume mix scene, but I want to go back to the zeroed out mix scene. So I'll simply click this down, go up here to zeroed out, and boom, everything's back to the 0 mark. Whew. We got through it. The Hooded Claw. I'm not even sure who that is. I had some guy tell me that I sounded like the dude on the wheelchair. what did he say? That you sound like the guy on the wheelchair from some show that I'd never heard of in my entire life. And then I went and just watched a snippet of it. Of course, it was horrible. I was like, I'll never watch that again. Anyway, I went and listened to it. I'm like, oh my Lanta. I actually do sound like that guy. It was kind of scary. Can you do a how-to video live stream with your Zoom, Boss BR800 and low latency interface? I don't know. I know me personally, I don't have the BR800 anymore. I actually sold it about 6 years ago, and I kick myself every day pretty much because I have questions come in every single day from individuals from those 2 videos or 3 videos that I posted. And they were like, all these questions coming in all the time. Like, hey, how do you get the Boss to do this? How do you get the BR800 to do this? And I keep giving them answers, and evidently they're working because they're not coming back at me. But I'm just basically doing it from head knowledge. I don't have it in front of me anymore. So Ironside, maybe that was it. I don't know. All right. At any rate, seems like I was going to share something else with you guys. What else was it? Not sure. All right. Silvermane, you have perhaps a drum programming tutorial. Okay. I think I got something similar to that on the channel, but I don't think it's quite in depth. Yet again, that's one of those things where, name the actor, Mark, bonus point. However, it depends too on what program you're using, because I use Addictive Drums. So with Addictive Drums, I literally just pull this up and I just sort of listen to these beats and then fly them into my track. And then from there, I just kind of figure out what works, basically. So. What is that? Oh. It's that stupid guitar. I was like, what's that noise? Okay. That is really loud. It's clipping somewhere. Oh, yep, there it is. There we go. So essentially when it comes to drum, drum automation, drum programming, I'm literally just going off of these stock beats, getting something that sounds close. And only then will I come back in here. And cause like I said, I'm not big on like loop based stuff at all. But what I'll do is I'll just fly this in, say, okay, that looks good. However, right here, maybe I want a cymbal to come in. So then I bring up, by double clicking that, you can bring up the screen here, and this is your piano roll, and say, okay, I want a cymbal crash right here. So I'll just kind of, that's the extent of my drum programming, so to speak. That one didn't even happen. That's nice. I think it's because it was overlapping that one. Yeah, that's like the big major extent of my drum programming, though. It's nothing nothing too major. I've used the step sequencer before. I used a little bit of this clip pool. I don't know. I remember back in the day when I first started using this, Addictive Drums, when it came out, and it was another freebie that came with Sonar. You got a download of it, and then you got like so many start out packs. I still have never even upgraded my packs. I think maybe I take that back. I got some on like a deal or something. But at any rate, what I typically do is I'll start out with this, and I use this instead of a metronome to lay down my scratch tracks, because I cannot stand the sound of a metronome. That bing, 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 bing. It just drives me nuts. I cannot get into it. So I will get a drum track that sounds pretty good and in time with me, on the right BPMs, obviously. I'll play to that, and then I just go back through Addictive Drums. I find stuff that sounds really close, and then just go back in and edit things individually if I think that, they need to sound good. Or I'll even go a step farther and use samples. I've got a huge sample pack that was free from Produce Like a Pro. He gave away all of his samples that he uses for drums. And so I'll just fly those in there. And by the time it's all said and done, you got an amazing sounding drum set, which Addictive Drums sounds really amazing even by itself. But when you start adding samples in on top of it, I mean, it's amazing. So, all right, let's see if I missed anything here in the chat real quick. I feel like I've been rambling for a long time. All right. You guys are still talking about Ironside. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I do not use a touch doll to control Cakewalk. I have actually before I've set out, I have one of those drawing tablet things with the stylus, and I've tried that to draw in my automation lanes. But even that, I was like, I'd just rather use a fader. So, which by the way, you can take, I have an M-Audio MIDI keyboard here that's got faders on the top of it, and I can connect those faders to the DAW to act like a control surface. So anytime you got knobs or faders on your equipment, if it plugs into USB 9 times out of 10, you can get Cakewalk to recognize that as a control surface. So Zave says, Robert, it's easy to copy MIDI notes from the PRV of one of your synth into another PRV of another. Yeah, actually it is. So like, let's say for instance, I got expand down here. Well, let me get my mug out of the way. My mug's right here. Boom, there I go. And now I got that in the way. Sorry guys. I need to change that. And go into like a fade. That takes too long. Okay, so really I can just click on this portion, hold Control and Shift, and just drag it down to the next one. And now that everything that's on that track is going to be on that track. I think that's what you meant. If it's not, I apologize. You can remember the name of the handheld knobs car. Really? Step sequencer is good for drums. Yes. Like I said, I've used it a few times, but I don't get into that step sequencer even. Ideally what I would love to do is be able to hire a real drummer. Every time I need drums, just come in. I've used a lot of people online and with a lot of good results. Pirate Beat says, I'm using Piano Roll for hi-hat perk rolls if you want something like 30-second note rolls, but mostly just use the step sequencer. Interesting. A video on Addictive Drums. Okay, that's another. So I think what I'm going to do is I've got a lot of results here on what I should make the next tutorial on based off of the Wheel of Awesomeness, what we just spun there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll just write them all down, and I'll make a poll here on the channel, and then you guys can vote That way, we all can vote on which tutorial should be the one that I make next. I think that'd probably be the fairest way to do it. All right. Let's see if I can close this out. There you guys are. Okay. And last but not least, I'm going to close out Cakewalk. That should free up some space on the old computer here. So, like I said, I'll write down all the suggestions for whatever it is that I should make a video on, and then we'll just have a vote on it. That'd probably be the best way. So I will do that after this video is posted. I was wanting to go here real quick. There we go. Okay, so real quickly too, in the link in the description of this video, you'll see I have a section there for shirts, and this is what I was talking about. So this is the threadless shop. You can go here and help support the channel this way too. I've got a shirt, Fader Finagler. It's kind of like the term that I coined, Mixing Ninja, All Dynamics Matter, and then the newest, Nuttier Than Squirrel Poop. The cool thing about these two is they're not just shirts. I mean, if you click on these, it'll actually take you to a page where you can choose shirts, yes, or you can choose accessories, and you can go to stickers, magnets, skateboards, buttons. You can get you a mug that says Nuttier Than Squirrel Poop, and maybe drink your nutty lattes out of it or something. I don't know. Well, evidently you can't get one that says Nuttier Than Squirrel Poop. Oh yeah, you can. It's just not showing up for some reason. But yeah, you can get a Mixing Ninja, Fader Finagler. There's also stuff for the home. So, you know what? Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I don't have anything with the HSS logo on it. That's a good idea. Why didn't I think of that? I don't know. You can even get fine art. Yes, I have a piece of fine art. It's called Nuttier Than Squirrel Poop by the artist Roberto Micleliano. Yes. Anywho, yeah, you guys can go and check that out anytime you'd like. Everything that you buy through here will help support the channel. That goes straight into my PayPal account, and then you'll obviously receive a huge thank you from me for that and a shout out. So at any rate, guys, thank you so much for hopping on the stream this go around. You all are amazing as usual. Congratulations, Chris Sanders, for winning the challenge, and we are going to have more in the near future. I definitely want to keep doing these because it was really a whole lot of fun. And not only did I have fun, but I think you guys had fun. So that's good. And the more that we can create, the more that we can keep doing, the more that we can keep helping one another, the better everyone is going to get in this community. Also, I want to make mention, if you know of a YouTuber, someone that you follow that I don't know about, let me know about them. Either leave it in the comment below this video. I don't know, get a hold of me on Messenger on Facebook. If you message me through the page, I usually see that quicker. Okay. For some reason, it was trying to hide your comment. Silvermane. Anyone wants to mix and master my new stuff, please listen to Weekend Warrior and check back. Much appreciated. Are you talking like mix and master it for free, or mix and master it like you're willing to pay for that service? If you're wanting a mix and master, my rates are very reasonable. However, if you want someone to do it for free, I'm almost positive anyone on this channel could probably help you out, or at least take a shot at it. So, all right, guys, thank you so much once again for hopping on the live stream. Love each and every one of you. And I don't just say that, I really do. I hope that this time around I've provided some more value. If I have, make sure you like the video and let me know that I have. Leave a comment below my video as well if there's anything that maybe I missed, questions, comments, concerns, and then also keep an eye out on the community tab. I'm going to be keeping a post up on there for the vote for the next tutorial vid. I'll also be posting a link, if I haven't already, for the giveaway that's going on right now. So remember to share that link for the giveaway. Share the link to the videos if you find them helpful. Try to get the word out as much as you possibly can. That way we all can continue to grow from this. And my goal here is not to make a living out of YouTube, although that would be absolutely awesome. My goal is to help as many people as I possibly can. So until the next time, guys, Pirate Beats, check my page for my email. Right on. See, we might have just connected somebody with a good mix engineer right here. Good deal. You guys are awesome. Oh, Ted B. Chris Sanders is the winner. So if you go back and watch this stream after it's over and check out the replay, you can see us announcing that. But until next time, guys, once again, it's been awesome. It's been fun. And remember that this channel exists to simplify the complexities of the home studio and to help you make professional sounding music in a less than professional space. You guys know the drill. You know the drill. We can dream alone. And you all know that we can create alone because we do it all the time. However, together, we can achieve so much more. Love y'all. See you on the next stream. Okay. You all thought I was going to end it. Oh, I am. But right after I let you know that there still will be a Sound Advice Saturday. So just because I did the stream today doesn't mean that Sound Advice Saturday is not still happening. So remember that. Sound Advice Saturday, same usual time, same usual place.
The same bat time, the same bat channel. Come over here at the Home Studio Simplified channel at 2 p.m. on Saturday. We'll be having Sound Advice Saturday. Hit that like button. Smash that subscribe.
All right, guys.